Sandhill cranes are large, elegant birds named for the Sandhills region of Nebraska. Adult sandhill cranes are gray overall with bright crimson foreheads and white cheeks. Immature birds have clay-colored feathers, and young fledglings are golden-colored with pinkish legs. Sandhill crane males tend to be larger and heavier than females, the former averaging at 10 pounds or 4.6 kilograms, and the latter usually weighing around 9 pounds or 4 kilograms. There are 6 subspecies of sandhill cranes found across North America. These are the greater, the lesser, and the Canadian sandhill crane. 2 subspecies are considered endangered, the Cuban and the Mississippi sandhill crane. Stick around because in the second half of this video we will focus on the conservation of greater and lesser sandhill cranes in California. Sandhill cranes' natural predators include domestic and wild cats and canines, mostly going after fledglings, and opportunistic carnivores and omnivorous birds like crows, gulls, and raptors who will attack chicks and eggs. Alligators and crocodiles are a threat for Florida and Cuban cranes. When in danger, cranes can defend themselves with their spear-like bills. While non-migratory cranes start laying in December, migratory populations lay between April and May. Cranes pair bond using unison calling. This is a ritual when the cranes stand near each other in duet, the female singing 2 notes for every 1 note sung by the male. The fledglings follow the parents, getting fed until they are 9 to 10 months old. 2 months later, the juveniles join flocks of up to 10,000 non-breeding cranes until they form a pair bond between 2 to 7 years of age. The oldest sandhill crane fossil is 2.5 million years old, much older than the fossil record of most bird species. According to genomic studies, the lesser and greater sandhill crane diverged somewhere between 2.3 and 1.2 million years ago during the Ice Age. The Central Valley is important for wintering cranes. However, urban expansion and new inedible crop types such as vineyards are limiting the greater and lesser subspecies of the sandhill crane in the Central Valley. Prioritizing crane conservation would mean limiting expansion into areas where the cranes rest and feed, while preferentially planting crop types that they can eat. Rice is the most commonly eaten crop by flocks. The common practice of flooding and burning field in order to decompose harvested crops destroys the leftover grains that the cranes rely on. Providing farmers with incentives against using these destructive methods until as late as possible will stave off crane starvation. Subspecies-specific and area-specific management should also be taken into account. According to the study, graders rarely used alfalfa in the delta, in contrast to lessers, which often favored alfalfa. Therefore, alfalfa should not be considered a major food source for graders in conservation planning contexts. However, alfalfa should be encouraged in sandhill crane landscapes in the San Joaquin Valley, where lessers dominate the sandhill crane flocks. Greater sandhill cranes are less adaptable to change in their environment than lesser sandhill cranes, which makes preserving the greater's environment more important. The study recommends these measures to protect crane wintering sites, in order of priority. 1. Protect existing roost sites, especially those of graders. 2. Protect compatible foraging landscapes. 3. Improve conditions of conservation lands and encourage conservatory measures on private lands. And 4. Develop and protect more roost sites. In the future, new water delivery systems, solar farms, sea level rises, and climate change will provide more challenges to the cranes. Conserving these cranes benefits humans too. Wildlife festivals and ecotourism brings business to local communities. Sandhill cranes are a persistent and majestic species that will hopefully fly the earth for thousands more years.